Yeah, we bring reviews of your house, talk to our dudes of your house. I bring my views of your house, wrestling truths of your house. We talk to you in your house, we keeps it cool with your house, we keeps it cool with your house. I'm spitting truths in your house. Yeah. Mark Tatum on his fast, Becky Nish on the man. Play with two like a lion, household a dangerous alliance. I am a diamond like Cody, and I'm overcoming like Kobe. No, they cannot hold me. Come listen, I'm hosting, critiquing, I'm boasting. This wrestling I'm knowing.
My name is Brian Pillman Jr., and you're listening to the In Your House podcast.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to In Your House, starring Alakan House. This is the People's Podcast. Hey guys, you already know who it is. It's your boy Khan, ready to give you that work when it comes to this professional wrestling business. That is what we do, and hey, we love it. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's alright. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, hey, we can get to you. So it's like I say all the time, guys, we give you that work, and we love it, man. And man, we do this all the time. We're throwing 5 shows a week at you guys. Can you guys tell me what professional wrestling podcaster that's doing this independently in the Midwest, hitting harder than your boy Khan, hitting harder than Hutch, hitting harder than the household over here in your house, straight killing it every single time? Guys, 14 different countries, okay? 14 different countries across these great United States and locally right here in Indiana. And guys, I tell you all the time, we get the best. We get the best. We get the future of this industry. That is what we do. This professional wrestling business that we love so much. Hey, man, we get the best. We get the hungriest. We get the brightest. We get the stars of tomorrow, okay? That is what we do, and we pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on getting the next big stars. Man, in my humble opinion, this cat right here that we got on right here, he's gonna be a star, bro. Like, he's gonna be shining brighter than all y'all. Big facts. I can't wait to see it. But until then, I'm gonna enjoy my conversation. Household, welcome, Corey Storm. How are you doing, bro?
Man, I'm doing great. 5 days a week. That is awesome. I'm really, really enjoying your product and the podcast itself. I'm definitely honored to be a part of this.
Oh, thank you, bro. You honor me by coming on the podcast. You're one of the hottest, brightest young talents in the business. Man, I've been stalking you for months, bro. Like, I've been stalking you for months because I see that you're going to be a star, bro. So I'm like, man, I got to get this cat on, and the timing was just right. So I was so happy to get you on, so thank you for coming on, bro.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having me. Like I said, it's definitely an honor, and I'm very excited for this conversation.
Oh, no doubt, man. And definitely we're going to get it underway here because I'm going to ask you the number one question that I like to ask all my guests. And I'm very interested to hear it from you being you're a young cat, man, 18-year-old sensation, bro. So I got to ask you, where did this start? Where did this professional wrestling start? This business that we love so much. Where did it start for Corey Storm?
I guess we can go all the way back to when I was 6 years old. The first time I ever watched any wrestling in general, obviously, it was WWE at the time. They were the main thing and still are.
Yeah.
But the first thing I ever seen, the first character that I ever seen was the Boogeyman. I was immediately interested in him, his character, the product, and all, honestly.
Yeah.
So that was the first time I ever watched it. I started, watching it consistently every week. Anytime it would come on, I believe then it was Mondays, Fridays, Sundays pay-per-views. I would get some pay-per-views, but when they were $50 every month, sometimes it couldn't happen with a elementary school child. But like I said, that's how it started with me watching it. When I was about 12, 13, around that time, I actually got a trampoline. My mom didn't want to get it for me because the very first time I was ever on a trampoline, I broke my leg.
Oh, no.
Doing a front flip off the trampoline. So, I could see where the doubt in buying that, came to a factor.
Yeah.
But like I said, she bought the trampoline. One of my buddies in the neighborhood, he didn't really like wrestling, honestly. He was into Dragon Ball Z, and I totally respect that. Me too.
Yeah, me too. Yep.
He didn't like wrestling, so just trying to do some small YouTube videos. That's kind of how it all started. I got my professional start. Myron and Mickey Midas, or then it was Mickey Muscles, Myron Reed and Mickey Muscles, or Mickey Midas now. Those guys had came into my life, and they were already training. Mickey had already been wrestling for years. Myron was just starting to get his feet wet. I started traveling with those guys, and then eventually I got a phone call asking actually about one of my YouTube videos. It was crazy. The promoter at the time was Billy Black for Coliseum Championship Wrestling in Evansville, Indiana. He messaged me about buying a belt off of me that was featured in one of my YouTube videos in the backyard, and I told him, I don't want the money. I just want to start. I just want to start training. Wow. In the state of Kentucky, my home state, you have to be 18 with a wrestling license from the commission. So I was years away from that.
Yeah.
But I started training there. I did I think 6 months of training there. And then, I did the IWA Mid-South tryout show, and that's really how I got my start, was with IWA.
Yeah.
Some things fell through. There's not any heat with me at IWA. I love Ian. I love IWA Mid-South. I really thank them for my start. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be where I'm at today.
Right.
But once that kind of fell through, I started traveling more and making a name for myself. So, it's just been up from there, really, and I hope to continue this hot streak, so to speak.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I see you on my news feed all the time, man. And some of the feats that you do, man, I'm so impressed. And one thing that I gotta say, because I gotta get this out of the way, and I don't want to forget to say it, because I love to say it to all the talent. Bro, first and foremost, before I even say another sentence, thank you for all that you do for our entertainment, bro.
And that means a lot to hear that, definitely from you and from any wrestling fan, or even fellow wrestlers. That means a lot, because some people, not that they don't respect it, it's just that they don't understand it until they do it, and that's with a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
But wrestling is a lot harder than it seems. There's a lot more into it. A lot of work put in behind the scenes. You got to put in that work.
That work.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Yeah, man. But, we put in the work behind the scenes, and, we produce these shows and put out these shows. Maybe not us, but, our fellow comrades or, co-workers. Call it, because it's a job. We may have, actual jobs Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 jobs, but, on the weekends or even throughout the week now with me with OVW, we just consistently try to put on a show for the fans. If it wasn't for the fans and everybody watching at home, this wouldn't be possible for us. And all the fans are the reason why we are living our dreams.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. And I'm just, and Corey, I'm just a big advocate for, I just like to see other people doing good. You know what I mean? I think we could all get to the table, and I think that we could all eat. So that's why I support so much, because honestly, professional wrestling has given me so much in my life. I'm a cat from Los Angeles, California. You know what I mean? The rough parts, Crenshaw, Slauson, and I've been to the good parts too. I've lived in the good parts too, so I'm not gonna sit up here in front like I haven't been to Huntington Beach or San Diego or something like that. But I definitely have lived in the bad parts, and man, when I say bad, I mean bad. And for me to say that is for me to say this: professional wrestling saw me through some really, really hard times. So when I the fact that I even get a chance to talk to you cats, and it doesn't matter on any level. It doesn't matter if it's on the independent level. It doesn't matter if it's something like WWE or former stars or anything like that. I'm just happy and overjoyed to talk to you guys because I've been interested in this for so long, and then to hear it from your guys' perspective is just incredible to me. Now, Corey, you brought up OVW, which of course has a lot of history behind it. So let me ask you, how did Corey Storm get started at OVW?
Like I mentioned earlier, to wrestle in the state of Kentucky, you have to be 18 years of age with a wrestling license from the Kentucky Boxing Wrestling Athletic Commission.
Yeah.
So, like I said, I had wanted the license forever, couldn't get it until I was 18. But one of the first places I went besides the World Wrestling Alliance, who run shows all the time, you can find them at WWA is now. Before I even came to OVW, that's where I went. But OVW has definitely always been a dream of mine. When I was traveling with Mickey Midas and Myron Reed, that was definitely a place that, they got a pretty good, push there and got their starts there. So, it's always a dream of mine, having guys come out of there, top stars in all of wrestling, John Cena, Batista, Randy Orton, Shelton Benjamin, Brock Lesnar, the list goes on and on.
Oh, yeah.
The legacy that OVW holds. So it's definitely an honor, but how I got in there, I had messaged Josh Ashcraft, the East End villain, who is a commentator for OVW, and asked him, is there any chance of me even getting on this show? I was kind of having doubt just because of the legacy, like I said, that it holds. But self-doubt is not a thing you should have. So that was my bad for that. But he just said, come on down. You can talk to Al Snow, you can talk to all the boys, and we'll see what we can do. So I did. I made the 2.5-hour drive there. And I just sat in and was hoping for some sort of opportunity. And that night, in the form of a dark match, and for those who don't know what that means that it's not on television.
Yeah.
So I got the opportunity to, I got the opportunity to work with Isaiah there. Al Snow was really impressed. And the next week, I was on OVW television in a gauntlet match where I came very, very close to winning the OVW TV title, I might add. And, ever since then, it's just been, ups for OVW and ups for me there as a competitor. I just wrestled on their Fight at Fort Knox show. That was an honor to be able to wrestle in front of, the people who serve our country and to be able to fight for them as they fight for us.
Big facts.
So that was definitely a huge thing. And, man, I'm just so happy to be with OVW. It's just, like I said, the legacy and the honor that it gives me to wrestle there. It's just crazy. Just all those thoughts of all those guys that came out of there. And, hopefully one day I can say, that OVW did that for me too. They helped me out as much as, I can try to help them.
Absolutely, man. And Corey, I am going to speak it into existence. I speak it into the universe right now when I say that OVW will be that result for Corey Storm. That is going to happen because you're a star, bro. I can tell that you have the work ethic. I know it. I feel it, and I go with my gut, bro. Like my gut tells me things. And talking to you, hearing you, seeing you, you know what I mean. You're a sharp looking kid. You know what I mean. You have a unique look. You speak well. You're obviously respectful, man. I just definitely see it, bro. I definitely see you being a star, bro.
I appreciate that, man. All the kind words. They really lift your spirits. Kind words from anybody. I wish that more people in this world could just be kind. Kindness is not a hard thing to produce and give out to people. Not even on a small scale, but a large scale in general. Boost your friends up, man. Like, don't get jealous or upset that they get opportunities, before you do. Because if they get opportunities before you do, it's for a reason. They're putting in the same work, if not more than you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Totally agree with that, man. Like, it's like I told you before we went on the air. I was like, we can all sit at the table and we can all eat. We can do it together. We don't got to knock each other down, drag each other down. Just later for that negativity. Like, we don't need that. Like let's just gas each other up. Like that's what I do. That's who I am. I don't feel like I have a negative bone in my body just because when you've been in a toxic environment, and especially earlier in your life, for me personally, earlier in my life was a lot of doom, a lot of gloom, depression, stress, things I was dealing with in life, being in LA and dealing with everything, you get to a point where you look back and you're like, I don't want to feel like that anymore. I want to feel happy. I want to feel like I'm going somewhere in life. And you know, I was given a new lease on life and a second chance, and I love it, man. I love it. I'm so happy, so blessed, and now look what I'm doing now. I get a chance to talk to Corey Storm. Like, what am I doing, bro? This is my life. I love it. You know what I mean? But man,
and you got to make the most out of all the chances, especially, you know, those second chances if they're presented, which they will, you know, with due time. So
yeah,
you know, I'm just, like I said, I'm happy with the way my life's going right now. I wouldn't want it any other way.
Oh man, yeah, and I'm happy for you, man. I really and truly am. But this next topic, not so happy, because we got a little elephant in the room that we gotta address, bro. We got a little elephant in the room that we gotta address.
I feel like I know what this is gonna be.
Oh man, you said his name twice, and each time you said his name, I was like, you know what I mean? Like, okay, all right.
It's
so
the
here
name
we go.
that's constantly running through my mind, man.
Oh man, and this dude, they call him Hot Fire, but it seemed like there's a little heat with you too. Oh man, we're talking about Myron Reed, bro. When there's smoke, there's fire, and there seems to be a lot of smoke with you and Myron. What's going on with that, bro?
You know, I guess we can start from, like I said, you know, before I even got an opportunity in this business. That man had my back. Myron always had the right answers to any question, and he was willing to give it to me.
Yeah.
You know, he was willing to give me all the answers and all the advice and all the help that he possibly humanly capable of giving me.
Yeah.
You know, and that resulted in me and him being best friends for pretty much the last 5 years. I don't know if I can say that. Excuse me. I don't know if I can say that right now. I'm getting a little choked up on this conversation.
You're good, bro.
You know, on this topic. I don't know if I can say that right now, honestly. You know, declined phone calls, you know, I leave several voice messages a day. I don't care if I blow up his phone, because I just want to talk about this situation, and that's what we're doing right now. Finally have someone and the world to vent to on this topic.
Yes.
Paradigm Pro Wrestling, August 24th, 2018, myself and Myron, cohesively as the Indie Heartthrobs, were in a tag team championship match for the PPW Tag Team Championships. We came very close. Me and Myron went for a stereo 450, and that means, you know, opposite buckles at the same time. When I came down, unlike Myron, who hasn't went through that, I broke my right arm, my right elbow to be exact. You know, I was out for 3 months. Pretty much, it was almost 4 months. Yeah, because I came back in December, so it's 4 months. You know, and that at that time, you know, Myron had moved away. He was making a name for himself. You know, other than the occasional get well messages after that, I'll give it to him. After that match, immediately after, he was the one that, you know, took it upon himself to drive me to the hospital. Took it upon himself to stay up late, stay there the whole night, and drive me all the way back to Owensboro when he lives in Louisville.
Wow.
You know, and that was just one of those moments out of the thousands of moments that we've had that we connected. But like I said, after the fact of that, you know, very generous thing to do for somebody, it was just, you know, like I said, occasional messages. There was just, you know, I hope you're okay. You know, miss you, man. Miss seeing you in the ring. Miss seeing you doing what you love. But other than that, there wasn't a lot. So, you know, when me and Myron had our first match, our first singles match at Paradigm Pro Wrestling, we had two before, in which I beat him both times. Our first match at Paradigm, we, you know, there was he beat me. He beat me. There's no other way to put it. There's no icing to put on the cake, so to speak. He beat me fair and square. Awesome, got it, cool. You beat me, Myron. And then, you know, as I go to shake his hand, he says, and I quote, "You can't handle me, dog."
Ooh.
You know, that was something that I, you know, never thought would come out of his mouth. You know, that started messing with me. And, you know, as I went on and was thinking about it after I left and, you know, the several weeks after that, I messaged Doug Votaw, who is the promoter for Paradigm Pro Wrestling, and said, I want another shot. He said, what do you mean? I said, at Myron Reed. I want a second match. I'm going to win. I'm going to prove to Myron that I can handle him and will handle him.
Yeah.
So our second match started off hot. I hit every move that I possibly thought I could beat him with. And I'll give him props. He kicked out of all of them. I go for the front handspring cutter one more time, which is my finisher.
Yes.
Go for that. He catches me. I go to roll him up. He gets me and holds, the tightest grip of anyone that I have ever seen. And he pinned me. Backstage, we had a very intense conversation where I walked up to him and I was like, "What was that?" You may have seen that video backstage.
Yeah, I did. I sure
was
did.
Like, "What was that, man?" I was like, "What was that? Why, why would you beat me like that?" And he was pretty much saying, blah, blah, blah. He called me a pussy, several other things that, that I don't expect and don't like to hear from a brother.
Yeah.
So, that led on to Doug walking into the room, and he says, "You guys got to get it together. You are in the Rejects Invitational Tag Team Tournament for the Tag Team Championships."
Oh, shit.
Yeah, man. And at this time, with the air so cloudy like it was with the whole situation, I didn't know how it was going to go. And even now I hear little ringing in my head, ringing in my ears. Man, just talking about this, because I've been having voices ever since that second match, ever since that backstage confrontation between Myron and myself.
Yeah.
I went with 3 days to be exact, without any sort of sleep.
Oh, man.
Was very sleep deprived, rest deprived, tired, upset, angry.
Yeah.
Every emotion you could have, I was filled with. And so going into that tag tournament, with all these voices in my head, I actually had whatever this voice or whoever is trying to reach me, who is talking to me inside my head, told me to kill Myron. And so that's not a thing that has ever ran through my mind. So I don't know where that darkness was coming from.
Yeah.
I tried to collect myself. It's insane. And I tried to collect myself. We went into the tag team tournament. Every time we would walk out, we made it through one round and then lost in the second. First round, he walks out. My music plays first. I'm waiting on him. His music plays. Stands right in front of me and flexes right in my face.
Ooh,
throughout the entire match, there was conflict. Every time I tried to shake his hand, he wouldn't do it. So, he almost got rolled up. He almost got rolled up at the end of that match with the Awesome Odyssey. Chris Copeland rolled him up. And if it wasn't for me super kicking Copeland over and Myron getting that pin, we would have lost first round. So I saved Myron. I didn't get a single thank you for that. We go downstairs after that match. I said, "Hey, man, we got to get this together. I let you down, but don't let me down." Speaking of when I broke my elbow, I let him down. He lost that match.
Yeah.
And it was my fault. So I was like, don't let me down. So second match, we go out there, flexes in front of my face again. I push him. We go on. We lose that match to the lifers, Bobby Beverly and Matthew Justice, the Blackcraft World Champion. So very notable names that we lost to, and that was my way of thinking of it. And Myron didn't think that way. So he stands over me after I take the pin. I was unconscious. I had to watch this back on tape when it was sent to me. Stood over me unconscious and says, "I'm done with you," leaves me laying in the ring and walks out. So that's where it's at right now. And obviously, like I've been posting, I've been trying to contact Myron. I don't know if he's fiddling with my head or playing with me by liking some of my random posts and not returning my voice calls, not returning my voicemails, everything, messages, anything. So really, I don't know. I don't know at this point if I can even consider Myron a brother or even a friend.
Oh, man. Myron, stop leaving my man on red, bro. He needs answers, and so does everybody out here. This whole fan base, we need answers. What is going on with Myron Reed and Corey Storm? Guys, you're just going to have to wait and see where this goes, because right now there seems to be a huge conflict between Corey Storm and Myron Reed, and I know that everybody out there wants to see this end, wants to see a conclusion to this. So Myron, if you're listening to this, in fact, I know you're going to be listening to this, so you can hear my words. You need to get with Corey Storm, and you guys need to hash this out right now, as soon as possible.
Men.
Like men, exactly. Myron, I'm talking to you, bro. You are hot fire, but you're being cold to my man. Man, you're being cold to my man. So please, let us know and end this as soon as possible. And with that being said, I don't want this podcast to be about negativity and hatred. So we're gonna move right along. So let me transition a little bit.
Go
ahead.
So I'm glad, you came in with this transition. I'm glad, because I was starting to get in my feelings, man. This stuff's rough, Yeah. Someone turning their into a lifetime friend. I mean, I'm sure you've had that happen to you. I'm sure every one of the listeners has had somebody in their life who, was honestly the biggest part of their life, their best friend, person that, they would walk the battle lines with, stand up to anything and everything, and then they leave.
Right. And we've all been there. That's relatable, bro. It's relatable. So that's why I'm speaking on behalf of Corey Storm, which, of course, he doesn't need anybody to speak for him. He's a grown man, and he kills it in the ring. But I want to see an end to this feud between Myron Reed and Corey Storm. But we're just going to have to wait and see what happens. And speaking of another feud that you've had, Corey, another feud that you had, apparently at one point, you had a feud with a backstage curtain?
Oh man, you definitely know how to make your guests go from frowning and in their feelings to laughing and happy.
That's what I try to do.
Yeah, man. This freaking curtain, man. So I go out here. I'm at World Wrestling Alliance. I'm going out here to not only promote the match, the Ultimate X match for the WWA National Championship, but to promote that I'm going to win the freaking match.
Yeah. I
go to run out the curtain, do my regular entrance, get the crowd hyped, and I slip and almost fall. For a minute, as you can see in the video, I start laughing. I thought it was kind of funny at first, and then I was like, man, I'm not about to get shown up by some dang entrance curtain. So, I had to two-piece it real quick.
Yeah.
I made my rounds. I was like, okay, he's asleep. He's knocked out cold. I make my rounds. I go back to it. It's still standing. So I had to pop it one more time.
There you go.
And then, that was it. It was still standing. So, but I mean, I didn't lose to that curtain for the rest of the night and haven't since, knock on wood, because I don't want that curtain to come back in my nightmares.
Yowie wowie!
Oh no, I know, man. I just saw that and I was like, man, because I watch a lot of the stuff that you put out, man, just because I'm quickly becoming a fan, and I saw that and I was like, I like how he did that. Just came back, gave it a little two-piece with a biscuit, and hopped in the ring and did his thing. You know what I mean? So I dug that. I dug that a lot.
And biscuit and jelly to that dang curtain, man.
There you go. So you
bravo. I mean, that got put up more of a fight than the guy that I fought that night.
No cap.
I mean, just stating facts, being honest, man.
Hey, that's what we like around here at In Your House. We just want to be honest, and it's facts, big facts, huge facts. So, absolutely, man, absolutely. So a little bit earlier, you were saying that when you were coming out there, you were promoting an Ultimate X match, and that match has always been really interesting to me. So let me ask you this, Corey Storm. What was it like to be a part of an Ultimate X match?
Man, when I first started going to the World Wrestling Alliance shows as a fan, I was a fan for them for about 3 years.
Yeah.
Sitting in the front rows, like I mentioned in the promo I did live at the show at the venue, I said, I've seen some crazy things at this company, man. Some things, people dang near killing themselves for our entertainment. But the craziest, most hellacious thing that I saw was the Ultimate X match. Seeing that in person, I'd seen it, watching TNA, Total Nonstop Action, or better known now as Impact Wrestling.
Yeah.
I watched it then. I thought it was cool. Guys like AJ Styles, all these guys, man. And, being, maybe not that big of a scale yet, I might add, because hopefully one day I'm at Impact doing an Ultimate X match. But, being able to do that there, being able to scale across the X and being fingertip length away from the national championship, all those fans screaming, cheering my name.
Yeah.
It was definitely an awesome feeling. It was honestly like one of those, not main goals in your life or in your career, but it was like a side goal. One of those things that was just so cool once you knew it was a thing, and like seeing the poster of it, walking into the venue, seeing the X already set up, because it was already set up before our match. The title was already up there, man. It just like the thoughts of, like, how am I going to pull this thing down, man? Like, it was just crazy because, like, you know, like I said, you know, we've all been there. We've all seen the matches, man, the Ultimate X. And if you haven't, you probably should. And, you know, just seeing that, man, it was like one of those side goals, side dreams coming true. It was awesome. It was a really cool experience.
That is so awesome, man. I've always thought that match was interesting when I would see it on Impact, and to be able to have the opportunity and the privilege to talk to somebody that's been a part of that match, I just think that's cool, because I saw videos of you like climbing up there and somebody's pulling you down and they slammed you down, and I'm like, man, like, that's cool. And for me, it was cool to be like, I'm going to talk to a cat that's been a part of that match. A match that's really cool, really innovative, really different. And man, to me, that was just awesome, man. That was awesome to see that. And it definitely, to be able to hear it from your perspective, I was definitely interested in hearing that. So now we're going from Impact, and we're going to open this conversation up to all promotions, including Impact. And the reason that I bring that up, Corey, is because I want to ask you this. What are the goals? What are the aspirations? Where does the road lead for Corey Storm?
You know, I at one point, you know, not only do I have all my bookings and my notes in my phone, but I had at one point, you know, a lot of people say, you know, don't write your goals out, whatever you want to do. I choose my own path. I do what I want. You know what I mean? So yeah. I was like, I'm going to write my goals down and I'm going to achieve them. I'm going to check them off as I go, you know, and just, you know, being able to wrestle in Canada here in March, you know, after such a devastating injury where I was contemplating on even wrestling, you know, again, doing it ever again. And, you know, Canada was such an amazing experience. I have a vlog for that on my YouTube channel called Stormy International. That was my first ever international booking.
Awesome.
So that was one of my goals, definitely. You know, I want to venture overseas, Mexico. Definitely Japan is probably my biggest international goal.
Yes.
You know, whether that be New Japan or any promotion up there. You know, my guy Josh Crane just came back from Japan. That was awesome. So, you know, seeing him in Japan just made me want it and made me more hungry for it even more. So if there's any Japanese promoters out there, man, please bring me in. I'll definitely be willing and honored to be able to wrestle in front of a great country and a country that's definitely huge wrestling wise. So like I said, Japan. You know, if we're talking company-wise in the long run, WWE is definitely my goal. NXT,
okay. Yep.
Raw, SmackDown Live, you know, anything and everything at WWE. To be able to, you know, I went to the Performance Center when I was like 11 or 12 when I first started wrestling, you know, with my buddies in my backyard.
Yeah.
And, you know, it said WWE employees only, and, you know, I couldn't go in, so I just had to take that picture out in front of it, that picture that everybody takes when they actually are able to go inside.
Yeah.
And, you know, I keep that picture. I actually have a picture of it hung up on my wall. I keep that picture, you know, not only in my phone, on my cloud, whatever, but on my wall to remind me that one day I'm going to have a picture right beside that, you know, of me grown up.
Yeah.
You know, me, you know, years into wrestling at the Performance Center because I am an employee for WWE.
Facts. I can see it. Let me ask you this. How do you feel about wrestling in China?
Man, I've honestly, like, I've seen a lot of great Chinese wrestlers lately. You know, and you know, to an extent, even Japanese wrestlers. You know, I always go back to Japan because Japan's, you know, my main goal international-wise. But China would be awesome, man. Like, really anywhere. You know, the United Kingdom. Brian Pillman Jr. just got back from a trip. You know, it's just like, honestly, being able to see all the sights of the world. And, you know, some people, you know, they bitch and complain constantly about being on the road. It's like, this is what you signed up for, man. Putting in these miles, traveling the world and seeing these amazing sights that you see. Like, I got a hotel, you know, literally with a, I guess, window front view of Niagara Falls when I was in Canada. It was the day after my booking there. You know, I was able to literally, like, set my camera up and do a time-lapse overnight, which is in my vlog. And it was just beautiful. So, like, China, man, like, definitely the site I would go see is the Great Wall of China. That would, you know, definitely be a must.
Absolutely.
It's just like, man, so many amazing sights in this world. I'm like, when people are stuck in one area, like I guess some people like to call them 40 milers. I don't really like that term because people, go on their own path, do their own thing.
Yeah.
But like, there's so much to see of this world, and some people, like, I understand, you have a life, but some people, like, just, I guess maybe not so much that they're so busy, some of them, but it's just like they're lazy. Like, you got to go out there and, you got to do it, man. You got to get it. You got to see these sights, and that's what I want to do for the rest of my life, is to be able to venture the United States. I've wrestled in 10 states in the U.S., and I've wrestled in Canada. So being able just to see all the states here and being able to see and experience wrestling and being in Canada was awesome. So I just hope to see more throughout my life.
And I think you will, man. I really, really, truly think that you will. Guys, we're sitting in with Corey Storm, an 18-year-old sensation, wrestling currently for OVW, and the sky's the limit. We're having a great conversation. And the next thing that I wanted to ask you is this. So it's a freaking hotbed for professional wrestling right now. I mean, it is on fire, just straight fire. I mean, just crazy how much wrestling is ramping up. And of course, us being fans and you being a worker, of course, we're all going to benefit from it in one way or another. And one of the biggest reasons, well, two of the biggest reasons that wrestling is we're seeing this wrestling renaissance, it's two reasons. Reason number one is because the independent scene is absolutely crazy right now. So epic, so excellent to see all that. Support your local indie fed. If you guys aren't supporting your local indie fed, I don't know what you're freaking doing, but definitely do that. For sure. Absolutely support your local fed, period. And the second reason is the emergence of the new promotion AEW, All Elite Wrestling. So you being an 18-year-old international sensation, I have to ask you this: what are your thoughts on the promotion AEW?
With working, 5 days a week, wrestling 4 days a week, don't ask me how I maintain that, but I do somehow. And I didn't get to sit in and watch all Elite Wrestling's first show. I did, in fact, watch all of the Cody Rhodes and Dustin Rhodes match. God, it was so good. It was phenomenal. Those guys are amazing.
Yes.
It was so good and so heartfelt, and that's really, the best. With brothers, being in the ring together, some of the best matches, Jeff, Matt Hardy, and just like All Elite Wrestling, the things that they're doing, they have several of my favorite guys and some of my actual, like, friends in real life, like Brian Pillman Jr. was on it, Marco Stunt, all these guys that I've, been able to share the ring with. Like, I was one of Marco's first ever matches, and being able to see him now, wrestling is such a big stage, and being able to be out there in front of that many people is just honestly, it just fills my heart with joy. Yeah. And like I said earlier, man, the jealousy and all that stuff is just so pointless. Like, it just makes me so happy to see my friends killing it and living to their goals and living to their dreams. And people like Private Party, one of the best tag teams in all of the world right now. Like, people were sleeping on them, man. They were making waves in indie wrestling. And I was like, man, they're going to get signed somewhere soon. And they did, All Elite Wrestling. So I'm, thankful, I'm not an employee of All Elite Wrestling yet, winky face. Hopefully one day.
Hopefully.
Just like seeing these people get those opportunities. Like, I just want to say thank you just to All Elite Wrestling as a whole, as a group, as a promotion, for what they're doing for all of wrestling right now. And it's just awesome, man. Like, you take Elite out of AEW and it's just all wrestling. That's really what it is. You have culture, all kinds of different cultures, different personalities, different characters, wrestling in general. It's just awesome, man. Like, like I said, hopefully one day I'm able to be on the stage at AEW and just show the world what Category 5 Corey Storm is all about.
Love it, absolutely. And I definitely want to see that happen. And of course, I wish you nothing but success in all your future endeavors. And very last question before we call this a really great episode and ride off into the sunset, and that is this: you are an 18-year-old sensation, Corey, an 18-year-old sensation, killing the game, just doing it your way, paving your own path, and I love it. So let me ask you this. It is 20 years from now. Corey Storm is 38 years old. In your mind, I know you can't tell me specifics. You're not, we can't tell the future here, but think about 38-year-old Corey Storm, and I ask you this. What does 38-year-old Corey Storm, in his mind, looking back at his career, what is he hoping to say, I did that. I did that. The biggest thing that I wanted to do, and I did it. What is that one thing, Corey?
That's crazy to even think of. That's a really good question. I definitely have an answer on top of my mind. But, if you think about it, like, I've been wrestling. My 3-year anniversary in wrestling is this Monday, June 24th. Will be my 3 years in the business. And just all the things that I've done so far, all the opportunities I've been presented with and made the best out of them. Thinking of adding 17 years on top of that, man.
Yeah.
Truly hope that, and it's honestly not even a hope at this point. This is going to make. Okay. All right. Like I said, I've been wrestling for almost 3 years now. Like I said, Monday, June 24th, marks 3 years.
Yeah.
If you add 17 years on top of that, and all I've been able to do so far, and like I said, I don't want this to make me sound cocky or arrogant. I apologize to anybody if I come off that way. That's not my intentions. Never have bad intentions. But, you add 17 years on top of that, and I would say a lot of people, fellow wrestlers would agree with me on the biggest goal would be main eventing WrestleMania. That's the grandest stage of them all.
Yes.
And to be able to do that one day and follow up some of the greats that have done that, guys like Undertaker, John Cena, all of these guys, I don't want to be the next Undertaker. I don't want to be the next John Cena. I want to be the one and only Corey Storm. Man, that's made me sound like I was stealing off Ricochet. Not meaning to do that. But, I want to be the best version of myself that I can, and I want to do it my own way, man. I don't want anybody to look at me and say, "Hey, he's a clone of so and so," or "Hey, he reminds me of so and so." I don't want to remind anyone of anybody except for Category 5 Corey Storm, because that is who I am and that's what I love to be. That's who I love to be. And like I said, I've been, I was bullied, I was ridiculed in school for liking wrestling. So, not to so much shut them up or to, to brag or to prove them wrong, but I want to prove myself wrong. I want to prove my self-doubt wrong. Any self-doubt that I've had throughout my career, with injury, with anything, I just want to prove myself wrong and be the best me that I can possibly be. And I think everybody should definitely take account of that and just, don't worry about the next guy. Live. That's honestly the best advice I can give anybody. I'm sorry I'm going on about this, but
that's okay.
That's definitely the best advice that I could give anybody as, aspiring to be a wrestler, is that live in the moment. Don't think about, man, I should have done this better yesterday, or man, I'm going to improve this tomorrow. Don't think about tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. There might not be a tomorrow.
Facts.
Today is today. Today you can be the best you that you can be. That's probably the most inspirational thing that, I've heard and that I would like to pass on. I heard Leo Rush say that, not in the same words, in the same sense, but, I like to add my own, pizzazz on everything, I guess.
For sure.
But, just be the best you can be, man. Take every day by stride. Like I said, don't think about tomorrow or the next day. Think about today. Think about what you can do today to not only benefit yourself, but to benefit your friends, your family, anybody that, that needs to be pulling out of a dark place, because I've had people, pull me out of those dark places and, reassure me that my self-doubt is only temporary. Pain is temporary. It's weakness leaving the body. So
Facts.
when you accumulate to a perfect storm, all of the mixtures of everything, and man, that's what I love. Just being able to do what I love and being able to show everybody that, hey, I said I was going to do this and I did it. Like I said, not to prove them wrong, but to prove myself wrong.
Exactly, bro. And one of the biggest things in life that I've carried with me, is saying that I've heard before, is the best revenge is no revenge. Live your life. And that's what you're doing, Corey. That is absolutely what you're doing, and I love it, and I look forward to everything that's ahead for Corey Storm. I mean, and I'll tell you this right now. It doesn't matter what promotion it is. It could be Impact. It could be AEW. It could be MLW. It could be ROH. It could be WWE, NXT. It could be any promotion. But the moment that I have a chance to see Corey Storm on my television, on the Fight TV app, on anything, I get a chance to see you on part of one of those bigger promotions, I'm gonna be in my living room going ape shit. For real, like Jay-Z, Beyonce, ape shit, bro. The Carters, like I'm gonna be going crazy, bro. I'm gonna just be like, he made it, man's made it, and that's just how I get down, bro. Because I find happiness in other people's success, and I'm just so happy and excited to hear somebody. I mean, 18 years old and your head's on just so straight, man. And I know a lot of that is because of wrestling, and that's just one of the reasons why I freaking love this, bro. I love this because I mean, just you being 18 years old, you could be out here doing a million things that you ain't got no business doing. And I'm sure being 18 years old, at some point you just never got caught. But you know what I mean? But man, just to see having your head on straight at such a young age, man, I love it. I enjoy it. I enjoyed this conversation. Just to see, I mean, 24-year-old Corey Storm is going to be amazingly solid person. 28-year-old Corey Storm, even better than that. 32, 36 and beyond. I can just tell that you at 18, you're going to be 10 times better in 4 years, 8 years, 12 years. And it's about growth, bro. It's about growing as a wrestler, but most importantly, growing as an individual, growing as a person. And I can tell that your mind and your heart and your soul is in the right place. So with that being said, bro, let me say this. I love to give my guests an opportunity to plug anything that they want to plug. This is your floor, Corey Storm. This is your opportunity. 14 different countries across these great United States and locally right here in Indiana. Bro, plug away.
Yeah, man. You know, wrestling, honestly, this is a really good analogy. I just want to plug this, so to speak.
Sure.
And several other things too. But wrestling is like the Kardashians in real life. It's, you know, there's a lot of drama involved. There's a lot of ups. There's a lot of downs. And, you know, I don't watch the Kardashians, but my girlfriend does. Sadly, unfortunately, I suffer watching that. But, you know, it's a lot of ups and downs. It's a lot of hard times and a lot of good times, but it all pays off in the end if you keep consistent with it. So, you know, consistency is the thing, and I'm very consistent with posting and keeping up with my social media. So you can follow me at CoreyStorm24 on Instagram. My Twitter account is at Corey_Storm24. Facebook, you can find me, Facebook.com/CoreyStorm24. I'm on YouTube, again, YouTube.com/CoreyStorm24. And there's one more thing. There's a little boy that came into my life, and he's really special to me. His name's Caden. He suffers with PCD. He's going through chemo right now with a brain tumor. You know, he is my biggest fan without a doubt. He first met me at a WCWO show in Indianapolis, and that little boy has been by my side. I've been fighting the battles. He's been fighting even tougher battles, and he's remained strong. So, if you could all, you know, join this page. It's called Team Caden, Our Path with PCD, and so much more. It's on Facebook. You know, like I said, this little guy is battling, you know, PCD, a brain tumor. You know, it's just been tough for him, man. It's been tough for me seeing it and, you know, experiencing it there with him at the hospitals, you know, anywhere that I can be to support him. So if you guys could show your support and love to him and his mother, Shannon Singer, man, that would be greatly appreciated. So like I said, Team Caden, Our Path with PCD, and so much more on Facebook. That little boy has changed my life, and maybe he will change yours.
Oh, man, that's incredible, guys. That's Team Caden. Go check that out. I'm going to check that out as soon as this podcast is over, just because I want to support. And man, yeah, that's I got no words. That's so humbling to hear your relationship with that young man and how you've affected him. you're a stand-up person, and man, I just wish you so much success, bro. And I mean that sincerely from the bottom of my heart, man. Like that's I don't know what to say, because that is wonderful, man. Yeah, absolutely. Man, that got me a little bit, bro. but that's great, man. That's great, bro.
It's me too talking about it, man.
Oh man, yeah, absolutely. But bro, this was a really great episode, and Corey Storm, you honor my podcast by coming on. So, bro, sincerely from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for coming on, bro.
Thank you for having me, man. And I definitely wish you all the success in the world. I really love your content, your podcast itself. 14 countries, 5 days a week, man. I appreciate you taking the time to speak with not only me, but with my fellow, professional wrestlers who are putting in a lot of work, like you were honored and humbled enough to say that, and to say that you appreciate the work we're putting in. Well, I want to say I appreciate the work you're putting in. I appreciate you for having me on. It has been great. I will definitely share this until my finger starts to bleed, not literally, because that would be painful, and I do not like Band-Aids.
Right.
So, thank you so much. In your house, putting in the work, 5 days a week, 14 countries, all over, anywhere you can find podcasts. So thank you so much for having me. It's been an amazing conversation and a great time. Thank you so much.
Oh, man, and thank you, bro. And, guys, this was a great conversation with Corey Storm, 18-year-old sensation. Watch out for him, because he's going to be on your TV, and he was here first on In Your House. Guys, this was another great episode, but that's what we do it in your house. So let me let you guys know where you guys can listen to this at. You guys can listen to this at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Himalaya. Hey, you don't have an Apple device? That's all right. We're on Google Play. Anywhere that you guys are, hey, we can get to you. Check us out October 5th, Heroes and Legends 13, Fort Wayne, Indiana. We coming to get that work, because check it out. We are the official podcast of Heroes and Legends 13. Guys, I'm going to be on commentary with Jason Saint. This is incredible. Guys, I tell you this all the time. Hop on this bandwagon. Get on. Or get gone. Because the household, well, we going strong. You guys have a great day and a great rest of your week. Peace.